Well, how about this Chinese thing? How about the Chi-Coms? But to me, that's really not the best messaging, because the Chinese angle really has got nothing to do with it. In my opinion, on these kinds of issues, the right wing has got to once again become the right wing, meaning we are against transgenderism. We are not against public school teachers teaching transgenderism. We are against transgenderism. We are against public school teachers teaching transgenderism because we are against transgenderism. And we are against transgenderism because it is wrong, because it is unnatural, because God says so. Not because it's woke, not because it's, that's the real transphobic thing, no, because it is wrong. Because we live in a moral universe, because we live in a moral universe, we're moral people, we have a moral compass, we want to have a moral policy, and we want to have a moral country. So we want the government to mold a society that is moral, that is good, and that is natural. That's why. And so when we approach something like, transgender people in girls' sports, and we approach these kinds of things, it has to be done so with the underlying, again, the foundational premise that it's wrong. I don't really hear that from politicians. I'm not really getting that. What I'm getting is, again, this thing where they say, well, young kids, no, nobody should be being taught this. And I understand it's this incremental approach. This is how you begin to roll it back, but it's important that at the end of the day, that's where this is headed. It's important that that's, and people are cognizant and conscious of this fact that is where this is headed. And people know that. The China stuff being thrown in there, to me, is just total misdirection. I don't know why that's part of the platform. I don't know why a lot of this schizophrenic type stuff is part of the platform. You've got this state here in Florida where they're being browbeaten by corporations over the vax mandate, over the mask mandate, over the LGBT stuff. And honestly, what really does China have to do with that? I understand when people say, these companies, they do lots of business in China, China's corrupt. But this idea that China's pumping gay stuff into Disney and Disney's to weaken our population, I just don't buy that. And I just don't find that very compelling at all. I just don't find that convincing. And even if there were some truth to that, I don't even think that's an effective political narrative. Because we can't just dump all of our problems on China. These corporations are evil in themselves. Disney is evil in themselves. Way before China came on the scene, Disney was evil. Disney was evil 20 years ago. Disney is evil now. They were evil 20 years ago when China's GDP was half or a third of what it is now. And they're just as evil today. And the same goes for lots of these companies. It's really a big cop-out. These companies were founded in America. They're headquartered in America. They do most of their business in America. They're American companies. We have to attack the American power structure instead of saying, it's this other thing going on. It's the Chi-Coms. It's this. No, it's us. No, I don't believe it's China directing American decline from Beijing. I think the architects of American decline are in America. They're in the American government. They're in the American companies.